So, it's time to take a look at the AMX-10RC platoon that's been added today. And immediately I have to say that this thing does look kinda scary. Big gun and a vehicle on wheels. Yeah, we know this one is about to be a scary one. Anyway, let's take a look at the stats of this thing. So it has a 105mm main cannon, speed is 84 km/h for the reverse is also 84 km/h, so a very fast vehicle. Specific power is 18 horsepower per ton, it weighs 16 tons, 4 crew members, 350mm of penetration, reload 7.5 seconds. Now the armor on this thing is non-existent. A 50 caliber machine gun can go through the armor of this thing, and I think armor piercing belts on the other machine guns also do a lot of damage to this thing. So let's take this thing for a ride and let's see how it will work. Now, for the lack of a better term, I call this tank this thing because, you know, can I call this a tank? It has no tracks, it has wheels, but at the same time we have a tank destroyer on wheels, the Centauro. I have to actually see what this thing actually is, but yeah, don't be surprised if I call the AMX-10RC the thing, because honestly, if you have seen the movie The Thing, for some reason this vehicle reminds me on that a lot, because it looks kind of weird. It looks kind of, I guess, odd in a way. Anyway, joke aside, the 105mm cannon has APFS-DS, it has HE-ATFS, and it has high explosive. Obviously, I use the APFS-DS ammo since it's quite literally one of the best ammos in the game at the moment, the magic darkness, I like to call it. The high explosive on this is for some reason quite useless. I had battles where it failed to destroy a Turm 3, which has literally no armor. So I think HE-ATFS is definitely the better choice for the secondary ammo, but because for some reason it does not want to work when I mean, it probably is good against light ammo vehicles, but this high explosive shell for some reason just did not want to work when I was using it. Now the APFS-DS ammo has good penetration, however it didn't really feel as potent as, let's say, the AMX-30B2 APFS-DS, and definitely does not feel as strong or as scary as the APFS-DS that's seen on the Object 120. However, it still is APFS-DS ammo. Armor piercing can stabilize the small sabot ammo, so it's going to get the job done. You can use the heat ammo if you want, of course, but from my personal experience, heat just didn't give good results while using it. It's just the way heat works in War Thunder in general, so don't be surprised by that. It does still, I mean, it's good ammo, of course, but AP ammo at the moment simply just does more, I would say. Now, how do you even play this vehicle? Since it has no armor and vehicles with wheels aren't really what I would say my favorite for a lot of reasons. First off, the controls on other wheel vehicles, not all of them, but for the vast majority, the controls are just weird, and the vehicle just doesn't really respond well. It's wobbly. The controls on this vehicle are okay. It doesn't have a stabilizer, it's not stabilized, so you have to wait for the gun to get in place and to shoot. The controls and the wheel response on the vehicle is actually decent. It's not bad. It's definitely usable. It can rotate. It does move it does respond on the inputs, on the controls, which is good, since it doesn't really feel like a wheel vehicle. Let's say the Centauro, for example, is wobbly, very wobbly, and some other vehicle, I've currently forgot their name, but some other wheel vehicles are also very wobbly when you want to use them. Again, the wheels on this thing work really well so far, the controls work really well. It is very fast, it is very maneuverable, it does turn properly, you can even turn in place, which is something that we don't have on the other wheel vehicles. Let's say I think the BTR, the BTR has a very wide turn radius, while this is pretty decent. It does turn really well, so you are not going to face that problem. It feels like a tracked vehicle, although obviously it's not a tracked vehicle, but you will forget that it has wheels once you know, start to use it. As for the armor, well, it has, as I mentioned before, literally no armor, and any high explosive shell, any shell in general, will penetrate the armor of this vehicle. So we don't rely on armor on the AMX-10RC because it's not going to work. Any close proximity high explosive, any larger high explosive shell, even small caliber high explosive shells will go through the armor of this thing. Don't be fooled by the slope on the front. That slope is not going to do much, it has no armor. So you just don't rely on the armor of the AMX-RC because it has none of that. And well, that was the first match. 6 destroyed tanks, not bad, it's okay, I would say, it's decent. Let's go to the next battle. Obviously not the highest score that I'm showing here, because, you know, there are vehicles that I'm just simply good with, and there are vehicles that for some reason just don't work properly. And in every platoon there is a vehicle that I really enjoy, and there is a vehicle that I don't usually enjoy that much. So you will see what I'm talking about in the next tank review, which will be the other AMX, which has a very interesting name and has a very interesting weapon. It has actually a 142mm rocket launcher, ATGM launcher instead of a main gun, and that's one of the most unique vehicles in the game. But more on that when I play the other tank. When it comes to the damage, you know, it's AP ammo, APFSDS ammo. If you hit the ammo, usually it will explode. However, I did have occasions and moments where the AP ammo just doesn't seem to do enough damage, and here I actually swapped to high explosive since I thought it would be enough to destroy the Martyr, but as you're about to see, nope, high explosive, no damage. So yeah, this high explosive shell, I don't know if they changed that completely or not, but the high explosive shell does not seem to do much damage at all to anything really. And that should have been a direct hit in the ammo, should have been a ammo rack tank, but it survived, so yeah, that kind of sucked, but I'll just visit the M47 with the Revenge Bomber here. And for the most part, I actually do like the tank, I do like this vehicle a lot. It's on the power scale, and maybe this is kind of a wrong thing to compare, but on the power scale, if we compare this vehicle to the BMP-1, which was the previous premium platoon of the season, it definitely, I don't know, I feel like the BMP-1 is definitely like the ultimate rat, since it has like a ATGM launcher and it has a 76mm main gun that's able to penetrate over 300mm of armor with a 6 seconds reload. So I feel like the BMP-1 does have higher firepower than this thing, because again has a 80 GM and has a very small but very lethal 76 millimeter main gun, which does fire a anti-tank rockets, or should I say it does fire heat shells, but they are anti-tank shells. Does fire basically, it's kind of an anti-tank rifle for lack of a better term, but it's still heat ammo, and it surprisingly does do damage when it hits. So, and it's also a very small, low-profile vehicle, very easy to hide. And this vehicle is kind of tall when you look at the. So, I mean, all the vehicles with wheels are kind of big. So far, the Centauro is also pretty huge. I think the only difference is the Centauro between the Centauro and this vehicle. The Centauro can't really lower the gun. I think this can lower the gun quite a bit. That's actually a very big bonus when it comes to the combat abilities. Since you should be able to take advantage of hold down positions with the AMX-10RC. Let's see how I will. Well, there's a revenge bomber. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why they just went full on a 90-degree angle toward the sky there, but okay. And I mean, the vehicle, I don't know. When I say that I'm personally not a fan of the wheeled vehicles, I'm mostly referring to that for some reason, for whatever reason, I don't really play them well. I think the Centauro is like the only one that I managed to like play well, but every other wheeled vehicle, for some reason, I just can't get used to them. I don't know why that's the case. Hey look, a term, and hit in the gun. That should have been a destroyed ammo, but no damage apparently. Okay. And the term 3 can penetrate the armor of this vehicle with ease using the machine gun or the autocannon. It does have a machine gun and it has an autocannon. And yeah, of course. Did you see? I'm aiming towards the tank, and the shell goes like 60 degrees to the left. I just love when that happens. But the artillery got the term. Once in a lifetime that happens, you know, in my case. My artillery rarely kills anything, and yeah, that's. I should frame that moment where the artillery actually destroyed something, and yeah, a reminder for myself to keep a track when my artillery just does anything. Usually it doesn't, no matter what artillery I have. But for the most part, I would say that this, if you like to drive vehicles like SPAAs and other vehicles that have wheels, I think you will enjoy this a lot. This might not be my favorite vehicle of this platoon, but I'm obviously not going to say that it's a bad tank or whatever classification it is. Let's call it a tank for now, just to make things easier. Obviously, I'm not going to say that this is a bad vehicle, because that's just blatantly, that would be pretty ignorant for me, and that would be pretty wrong for me, since I'm saying that there is no bad vehicle, just skill issue. And in this case, when I'm saying, in my case here, yeah, I'm not that good with wheeled vehicles. I play good medium tanks, heavy tanks, light tanks, but things with wheels, I don't know, I'm not that good with them, and that's me just being absolutely dead honest with you. But honestly, this is a very fun little tank. I actually love it, and I think you will love it as well, since it's a little beast, has a good gun, has good speed, and it's honestly, I would say, the only thing that you need in top tier. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.